Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video to the channel. So with how well the Frost Dragon video went down and taking a mid-level to go and see how good it is, the Bond account is now going to go for another PVM visit. Now as you can see by the info, we are rocking our Necromancy because it is by far our best combat stat. We're still only level 92, did a little bit of the rituals on double XP, so we have a little bit more levels now. But what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to see how well this account can go and work at Krill. Now, Krill is still one of the best God Wars 1 bosses, maybe on par with Armor, depending where the armor price currently stands. But at the minute, it's pretty good. So we're going to go give it a try, and we're going to go see if we can do it. And we can see if we can go and do sustainable, decent trips with 92 Necromancy and 85 Defense. Now, because of this, we're going to go and use the Teleported War, and I am sort of expecting to have to teleport back every now and then. We have to get kill count because we don't have a Totem of Intimidation. So it's going to be a very much mid-level combat video for this account, where we're going to go see if we can go make some decent profit per hour at one of the best God Wars 1 bosses. Now, even AFK and ulting Krill has still been said to be roughly about 4 mil per hour, so it could be a very good method if you're looking to create a mid-level or an ult to sort of do the first boss log, get a little bit of GP, and also sort of build up that account to start with. So I need to also remember my Ectoplasm because that would be quite the move. In terms of Inverto, just 2 overloads, 2 anti-poisons, a bunyip, I don't need 2, and I'm having to take some Pernix boots just for the god protection, just so I don't get absolutely piled. But as soon as we go in, I will do the swap straight away. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Pernix has had an update, and these boots are like something else. They're like slippers with metal on top. But either way, it kind of fits in with the vibe of what we're doing. So summon our bunyip, we'll throw this one into the bank. And luckily for us, when we were doing the key for next, it meant by doing 1 KC each boss, we now have the teleport from war. So we're going to go and teleport there and see what we can do. Now, Krill is probably the one which makes the most money now because of Necromancy and because of the fact that the armors are still like bank. So we'll see how well we can do. Roughly at the minute, the subjugation pieces are all sort of like 4.5 mil-ish, which can be decent. If we can sort of like make 4.5 mil per hour, it's a very viable AFK method for a mid-level account. Now, because we are newbie and mid-level, we don't have access to the Totem Intimidation. That is something you can collect at Anachronia to be able to skip God Wars 1 KC, but you need something like 100-ish Slayer, which we do not have. So, because of that, we're going to have to run around and do some KC, and I'm going to have to send my Conjurers to go and basically dominate all these monsters. Now, because I was so surprised with how well the Frost Dragon video went, I'm kind of expecting this to go okay, but we'll see. Now, the problem is with this area and getting KC as well is there's a lot of Slayer creatures around which we don't have the level to do. So we're going to have to concentrate on werewolves and imps just to make sure we can rattle the KC off as quick as possible. So because we're having to get KC, I'm trying to do it in a way where I don't have to leave the area or the God Wars as much as possible. So I'm hoping we can hold down what we're going to be doing. In terms of healing, what we're going to be using is Vampirism. We're going to be using Bunyip, and also an upgrade you can do is turning your Blood Fury into the Blood Shard version, which is something I've been meaning to purchase for a while, which I'll definitely do after this trip as well. And that's the important thing with mid-level accounts is how can you make sure your healing is good enough. Also as well, we're going to be using the Ghost. The Ghost Conjure will give us a bit of HP as well. So that combined with the Bunyip and Vampirism should hopefully see us for an hour. And also, while doing this as well, we'll be gaining combat XP. Like, even though, like, people will go Krill to AFK for collection logs, boss logs, and GP, you're going to be getting a decent bit of combat XP as well. And especially if you're a mid-level, it could be a good way to do a very AFK way of training, while also making profit as well. But apart from that, to do Krill, you only really need 70 HP, I think, is the Krill requirement. And to use the portal at War's Retreat, you just need 1 KC, which... Again, if you're going to go and get your next key, just make sure to do a KC if you haven't already, and it will save you pain further on down the road. So I'm going to go and do this KC now. We're going to go and prepare for Zam, and then I'll come back when we're doing our first KC of Krill, and then we can give you updates throughout our kills as well on how we are doing and how like a mid-level is performing. God Wars 1 really is mid-tier content, but it's whether we can do for a full hour and just how good it is more than anything. And who knew raw bear meat was actually that much? So anyway, I'm going to finish killing these and doing a KC, and we'll come back when we're about to go in. So 40 KC has been attained. Really not that bad. Like, you just get to it and you'll get it pretty quick. Going to do that, swap my boots, and then I'm going to activate my aura. Again, standard setup, tier 70 armor, tier 80 weapons. Got the Fury, which again you could upgrade to the Blood Fury, and I'm not planning on using prayer at the minute, but we shall see how we get on. So, going to start, and let's see how Krill is. Now, really, if I could do this and get something like 40 KC by the time I need to bank, that means I don't have to get KC again, and it's actually not that terrible. But let's see what kind of damage we do and go from there. I have been debating getting like a God Book as well. Like that's something I think will give us a huge buff going forward. But yeah, we're seeming to be doing damage. And it's just making sure that we can get like the healing side sorted, which hopefully the minions will be able to sort out. We are going to get quite a lot of food drops. But in terms of a kill, that was pretty straightforward. And we've got some coins. So just checking in, we're pretty much 2 full overloads down, and we've done this trip for 45 minutes. Bunyip's died, and it's been a little bit of a noticeable difference that we need to eat a bit more. But apart from that, while I had the Bunyip, this was fully AFK. And while I do think that the Blood Fury necklace will be a nice buff and a nice benefit, we managed fine. Some things I should have brought a spring cleaner, because then that would have cleaned up the alcohols. We picked up the GP, maybe some magic note paper for the super potions as well, but I really thought I would have been banking a lot more. I don't need this level of food. Maybe bring something like 3 or 4 brews if you're a lower level or mid-level like me, just in case you get a little bit of damage. But in terms of the minions and stuff, you'll be getting enough food drops to be able to survive quite easily. But as you can see there, I'm going to be getting well over 200 KC in one trip. No banking, and the only reason I will be banking is because I'm going to be running out of overload. And I do think, though, running out of overload, I am going to have to bank, because the overload, I think, is what saves me a lot as well. But if you're a mid-level and you don't have things like overloads, you can get an overload from level 90 herb if you get a pulse core boost on Mod 84. And if you want to get 90 herb lore because you're not 90 herb lore already, there are videos on my channel going about herblore and how to make money from herblore. You should get 90 herblore, making profit from doing other potions as well, and then spend that profit on these overloads, which will help your PVM, your Slayer, all different forms of your combat as well. But in terms of this is going to be a solid way for me to AFK a boss log. I really want my boss pet, and Zammy is still probably one of the first ones I recommend to anyone. Not only are you going to be getting pretty decent combat XP, but you begin a very good looking pet, and also a collection log, which is going to make you quite a lot of GP as well. Zammy, Armor, and Dagonoth Kings are the first 3 bosses I would do on an account, because after doing all 3, you will make such an amount of GP. It will be definitely worthwhile as well. Such an amount of GP that it will build your account quite heavily because you are making that much profit. In terms of big drops though, we've picked up a couple of shards. So we have had some collection logs drop for this video. But nothing big beam, just some nice little like GP and stuff. This was not to make profit, it was just to see like what it would be like, can we do it consistently? Because I am going into Slayer very, very soon. I wanted to see if I could go and do my Greater Demon tasks with Zammy. And then we can chip away at the collection log as well, because it's a nice little collection log to work on. And it'd be good to have one thing ticked off on this account to start with. And a little pet, which isn't a skilling pet, to follow me around as well. So yeah, I'm going to go and finish the last of this overload dose. Again, in terms of GP per hour, we've not made what's normally sort of recommended by the wiki. But to do that, you do need to pick up a subjugation piece. We've probably made a mil, if that, which isn't bad, considering like what we've been doing. But we've been getting consistent kills, a lot of kills per trip. Eventually, that sort of luck will catch up eventually. Maybe we'll get a couple of items really close together, and then it will equal its GP out as well. So the wiki, what the wiki does, it doesn't give you a guarantee per hour, especially with PVM. It will work out an average over a given amount of time with normal RNG based off the drop rate. So yeah, but in terms of can the Bond account do Zamorak easy, AFK, and achieve it pretty well? It definitely can. And as long as you've got a decent enough like necromancy level, I dare to say you could do this from 80, 85. I'm only using tier 80 weapons and I'm having no problem. I would definitely make sure though you're considering how you're getting your HP back, how you are healing. They do drop a lot of food from the minions, so you can sustain yourself with that. But work around somewhere which isn't going to drop your adrenaline, because especially with necromancy, you do struggle building your adrenaline up. So if you can find ways to heal without using food, that can be a benefit as well. But I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you are enjoying these mid-level sort of guides and videos, please make sure to drop me a comments because I want to do a couple more. I want to improve them, and I want to make them appeal to sort of the mid-low level players of the game as well, because I don't think this kind of mid-low level sort of videos exist enough for those new players coming to the game. We want new players into the game because it grows the player base and it makes a better player base as well. So if there's anything I can do to improve these videos to appeal to those people, drop it in the comments and let me know. And as always, thank you guys so much for your support. If you have enjoyed the video, please make sure to give me a like and subscribe. If you're brand new to the channel, we are aiming for 5k subscribers this year. Drop me a subscription. Really do appreciate it and it will really help me out. Thank you guys for watching once again, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.